This video is sponsored by Kill Bill. Hey Quentin, you got a new movie coming out? I can hook you up. Hello everybody, what's going on? My name is Vinny, and today we're going to be talking a little about school, because, well, some of you are going back to school. So I've written down a few things that have happened to me in my school career, but I'm going to university, but I'm going to talk about school. Because, you know, university is more about what you want to do, and school is more about what they want you to do. Also, just a heads up, excuse me for all the schooling terms that I don't know. I'm just gonna say high school and middle school and elementary school because that's what the Americans understand. And all of you are most likely from Yankland. So, catering to you. Sort of like what the world does. It caters to America. So we start off in elementary school, where I was a lot different from now. I wouldn't say I was a bully or anything. I was just a bit hyper. I had this friend who wasn't a friend. Let's call him Jimmy. And Jimmy was a bit of an arse. I didn't like Jimmy very much. I think he thought we were friends, but I most definitely did not. And me and my other friends didn't really like Jimmy, and I would used to hide his bag. I only did that once. I'm gonna sound like a terrible person, but I really wasn't. I just didn't like Jimmy. That was it. But I think the worst thing I did was I took Jimmy's hat and I put it in the bathroom, in the toilet specifically, and that got me into a bunch of trouble. I remember that. That's one of the things I do remember. But yes, I flushed Jimmy's hat down the toilet. I wasn't a fan of Jimmy. And I think I had a thing for hats because I also threw another kid's hat over a wall. Yeah, I don't know. I was a wild child. So then I moved to France. Well, firstly I went to one school for 6 months, and then we moved again. And then there was another school. The first school I went to was the hardest because I didn't speak French. Nobody really liked me. I didn't really have any friends. I eventually got some. We used to play Star Wars and we used to hit each other in the playground. Were they my friends? But I used to hate my teachers, and I used to hate my classmates, and they'd make fun of me, and I mean, at least I thought they made fun of me because I couldn't understand them. But I remember having this friend who was a girl. I think her name was Oriana. I think that was her name. And that might actually be her real name. There's no way in a million years she's going to watch this or remember who I am. So I'm going to give this one a pass. I was friends with her. And then one day the teacher comes up to me and says, you know, Vincent, Vincent, Oriana tells me you do very bad things. And she does not like play with you. And you need to think about what you do, okay? That came to a complete shock to me because I thought we were good friends. And I was really happy to, you know, have a friend. And I just felt so betrayed. I was like, what? What have I been doing? I don't understand. I can barely speak the language. What have I been doing that's terrible? I spent that break time crying in the bathroom. Fun times. Moving on from that terrible school, because it was a terrible school, and it was a terrible place to live. It was a real shithole, I'm not gonna lie. Moving on, we moved to somewhere a lot nicer, and new school, new everything. Again. So at this point, I've been in France about 6 months, and I kind of speak the language a little bit, getting there. But I really didn't have any friends, and the first friends I did make were older than me, and quite frankly, dickheads. I was just happy to have friends at the time, but they were not nice. They were just making fun of me. Like, I was in their social group, but as a joke, kind of, I think. I'm pretty sure, looking back now, I was just a joke. Not much has changed. And then something happened to where I wasn't their friend anymore. And I don't understand, and I don't remember why. I think we were at the lunch table, and somebody got in trouble for something. And everybody was angry at me, even though I had done absolutely nothing wrong. And I still, to this day, don't understand why they all shunned me and just excluded me from their group. I really don't understand. Maybe something happened, and maybe I did something wrong, and I didn't fess up. I don't know, but I just don't remember. All I remember is that we were at the lunch table, and something went wrong, and then after that, I had no more friends. And apparently somebody beat me up on the first day of school that I'd forgotten about, that I met years later. Like, years later, I met this guy, and he's like, I remember you, yeah, I beat you up on your first day of school. I don't remember that. Yeah, I totally did. Are you proud of that? Like, cool. Great. And speaking of fights, I got into a few in that school. Only 2, actually. That's a few, isn't it? Yeah, it's a few. But they weren't, like, I'm not a violent person, and I never have been, and I never, ever, I avoid conflict, sort of, mostly. I've never really been one to fight at all. But I got into 2 fights in this school, but both of them had done nothing to me. I was friends with this guy, let's call him Lewis, and Lewis just was a bit of a gangster and a bit of a dickhead, and he had too much influence over me, and I got into 2 fights, pretty much because of him. So yeah, I was very different, and I struggled for a while, until I made, like, my first really good friend, who, I'm not gonna name, her name is gonna be Jessie, and Jessie was a very good friend of mine. It actually started where she got into trouble for talking, and I had to do a punishment, but I was the one talking to her, I think that, if I recall correctly, and I did her punishment for her, which was a lot bigger than I thought it was priorly. I had to write like 500 lines or something. I didn't realize that at the time, so I got home and I was just like, but that's how we became friends, and after that, we became really good friends. Yeah, all my friends have been girls so far. I swear I like girls. I swear it. I've had guy friends too. I swear. Also, another funny story from that school. So we're all sitting in class, and we've all been chattering, we've all been talking, and the teacher's very angry with us. So we were all made to put our heads down on the desk, and we all do so, and it's very quiet. You know, everybody's kind of reflecting on what just happened, and the teacher's giving us this whole speech about how we're terrible students, and then little old me just goes... I farted so loud. It must have been the loudest fart I've ever had in my entire life. Couldn't have picked a better moment. But that time I didn't get in trouble for farting, which is good, because farting is completely natural. It's like getting in trouble for having sex. That's natural. Wait, no. And then there's middle school, and I'm just gonna kind of skip over middle school because I had very few friends. They were close, we were close, we had a lot of fun, it was good. But middle school, yeah, I'm just gonna skip over that because nothing really happened. And I was just a nerd. And I had nerdy friends, and we didn't do much. The guy who would let us into the canteen to eat at lunch, he'd let us go before everyone else. He'd give us like a VIP pass, but we'd have to compliment him or like sing a little song about how great he is. This is really weird. I never thought about it, but like at the time it was just like fun, I guess. It was funny, but now it's really, really weird thinking back. This man asks these kids to like come up with compliments and songs for him. Like the things that you think about now that are actually really strange. So when you were a kid, you just didn't think anything of. Ugh. So yeah, that was middle school. I was fatter and I had geeky friends, and there's nothing wrong with that, but I just never left my social group, and yeah, that was that. And then we move on to high school, which in France is 3 years. And there's a scale to me and my happiness and how I did in school, in high school. This is year 1, the first year. You know, little, whatever. And then kind of shoots up. And then year 3 shoots up again. Now, there are different reasons for this. Year 1, I was in the class, I was with 2 of my very good friends, so that was good. But it wasn't good, because I just stayed with them the whole time, and I didn't really get to know a lot of the people in my class. I did make some other friends, of course, but most of my class didn't really know me, which is quite sad looking back at it. I mean, this is your class. I spend all day with them, and most of them don't know who I am. I was still kind of adapting and coming out of my shell. But about halfway through that year, I made friends with another girl. Let's say her name is Victoria, and I made friends with Victoria. And it was so awkward. Like, the only reason we were friends is because, like, my teacher put us next to each other. She kind of looked at me and went, hi, what's your name? Apparently, I didn't even look at her. I just went, Vincent. But yeah, I slowly became friends with her, and I came out, I came out of my shell. I got more used to talking to girls, and I made more friends. But the year after that was a very good year for me. I was really, really in sync with my class. I was friends with mostly everybody. Everybody liked me, and I liked them. And I had way more friends, I went to more parties, and I just knew more people. I went out more, and I really started to come out of my shell and just be myself, and I made some really amazing friends that year that I still hold dear today. And it's also the year I got my first girlfriend. It's also the year that I went to San Francisco and met, some amazing people there. And like, that was just a really good year. And the year after that, which is this year, or that year that I just did, was also really great. Like, seriously, went up. Like, I did really well on my exams, and, I got to hang out with my friends during the summer, and it was just brilliant. So, like, as I said, there's a scale. It started off, it got better in the first year, then the second year was just amazing, and the third year was just perfect. Maybe not perfect, but it could have been better, but it can always be better. But it was really great, and that's kind of the progression. Like, my school my schooling kind of went from very bad to very good throughout my entire life. You know, whether you are in a foreign school and you have to learn the language, or even if you don't, the same thing applies. I mean, these years are going to shape you as a person. They're some of the most important in your life. I mean, they shape your personality. It's time to find who you are and kind of develop as a person and what you want to do. And there's no rush with that. There's absolutely no rush. You have so long to find out what you want to do. Have fun, because there are ups and there are downs. In the end, it's just a great experience, really. You can look back at the lows, you know. Well, for me, it would be not having any friends, and being made fun of constantly for being different, or getting into fights that I didn't want to be in, and being over-influenced by other people. Or you could just look at the highs, all the great people you met, all the great experiences you had, all the funny moments, all, you know, everything that's led to this point. And it's truly just an enriching experience, and it's something that everybody has to go through. So, you know, when you go back to school this year, don't worry. Just have fun. It's hard to see now, but when it's all over with, you're gonna miss it. You will. Just kidding, fuck school. Hey, thank you so much for watching that video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, then you can go ahead and give it a like, maybe, and, you know, share your opinion in the comment section down below if that's your thing, on screen, or more videos for you to watch with your eyeballs, if that's what you want to do. Or you can go and be productive and have a life. You can follow me on social media and all that stuff. Links below, and stuff's on screen, I hope, unless I messed up. So yeah, thanks for watching the video. I really appreciate it. Appreciate the support. Subscribe for upcoming videos, all that stuff. Yeah, that's pretty much it. You can go now. Go on, go. I know you want to go. Just go.